which is on innovation in process capture and knowledge transfer automation, which is taken by Mr. Sameer Nigam, who is the CEO for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Mr. Sameer has over 20 years of extensive experience in strategy formulation and implementation. Sameer has been focused on driving growth and investor returns. As the CEO, Sameer leads the development and execution of long-term business strategies over the past decade. He has led many strategic initiatives that has a positive impact in multiple businesses area, driving down costs, increasing revenue, and improving overall performance in the organization. On that note, I would request Mr. Sameer to come forward.
Okay, so thank you. So today I'm going to talk about innovation in process capture and knowledge transfer automation. This is a very interesting topic, especially for the time that we are in. People are working hybrid and there is a lot of need for automation. I pick up the phrase human where from the previous presentation over here. I'm probably going to talk about that, it seems. So I represent 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. We are an East Coast based organization and we have many delivery centers in India. And I'm going to talk about one of our products in this context. It is called 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. There are 115,000 organizations which use it in 167 countries and 122 million learners are on it. I'm going to use a very specific use case here and I'm going to connect it to the automation about creating and capturing the processes and turning it into something useful for training purposes, for automation, RPA or anything like that. So let me take one step from here and set a little bit of context here for the part that I'm going to talk about. So knowledge transition process, if you look at, there are essentially 4 parts to it. And those 4 parts are, starting with the development of a plan, to the knowledge transfer sessions, to documenting the knowledge into SOPs or sometimes you call them DTPs. And then you go ahead and train and distribute it. So all of these steps, by the way, are pretty manual in themselves. So therefore, they are very prone to error. And what we need to do somewhere is to have a way to cut down that error so that there is more efficiency into the process. Also, there's a lot of pain also when you do try and implement it because, sometimes the people are not trained enough. They are not really able to take your SLAs to the level that you wanted them to be. So, to talk about it, I'll tell you a story first, which will sort of give you a context completely. It's a video that you want to watch. The main character in it is called Suresh, and you will launch that. Okay, so I think you guys are very helpful. Thank you.
This is Suresh. Suresh is a part of remote transition team, who is engaged in a large transition, where John is explaining the process through WebEx. Suresh is struggling hard to make notes of all the details, such as keystrokes and clicks, which John is doing on his computer. Suresh wanted to focus on the key business points in discussion, but at the same time, did not want to break the flow of John's explanation. To make his life easier, Suresh installs Articulate Storyline on John's machine, to automatically capture the entire process, and simply enjoys the demo while focusing on key business point. At the end, John transfers the captured story file to Suresh. Since the process publishing is automated using Articulate Storyline, and no tedious copying pasting of screenshots is needed. Therefore, SOPs get done in less than half an hour, and Suresh quickly adds his key pointers, and sends the SOPs over to the training manager using the learning collaboration platform. Thereafter Suresh gets some time to relax, and weave together the contextual part of the process into a branching scenario. The branching scenario connects different business situations at the nodes, which represent business rules. The training manager finishes review and uploads the content. Next day Suresh incorporates the review comments, and send the revised SOP to the customer for review and sign off. Customer sees that the SOP is available for his review. He is surprised to see the first time right knowledge capture in SOPs, with keystrokes level details and accuracy. No wonder. The SOP were captured accurately to the minutest detail using Articulate Storyline. The approval is immediate. Suresh sends the finalized SOPs to training manager, but what's more, he also sends videos, practice simulations and assessment workbenches for the same SOPs. The training manager makes all these SOPs, videos available to the agents, through the cloud-based knowledge distribution and tracking platform. It is Mike's first day on job, and the training manager has handed over a bunch of hardbound SOPs to him for process learning. Mike can feel the burden. However, the training manager comes back with graphic videos and simulators. Mike is so happy. Not only he learns the process business logics quickly, with the help of video SOPs, self-paced practice simulations, and assessments, but also becomes the best agent on shop floor. Suresh is relaxed for future changes, because no information is lost while editing the knowledge capture. Complete recording is preserved in Articulate story file. So Articulate helps Suresh to work smartly, and achieve first-time right knowledge capture. Various formats of detailed SOPs in a single click, quick customer sign-off, reusable files for plugging in SOP exceptions, and changes save time and effort. This is Suresh.
Okay, so Suresh went back happy, and that's a promising story. I wanted to take the next step and actually try and show it to you live also, that does it apply to you? In what situation does it apply, and in what situation doesn't? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take a process which is a finance process and show you how the capture is done and how quickly it is done. So that's the next video. Looks like you will have to launch it for me. And yeah, thank you. There's audio in it. Okay, fair enough. So what's going on here is that Articulate has launched, the SME is showing the process. They're using that ERP and going step to step. They're making a journal entry. They're switching to an Excel application because they need to do something. They're just doing it just the way they do it. A subject matter expert will do that much. And after that, you know, you finish the recording, that's about it. Really nothing more than that. So software which was sitting in the background was capable of giving you the time shots, and whenever you do that step, everything is getting captured. Looks like you're running it 2 times, so no problem with that. Okay, so the point is, I hope you were able to see that while the demonstration of any software or any system happens, the tool is able to capture it, but when captures it, what does it really do with that? And that's a very interesting next step to this, which I'd like to show you. And I'll need your help to launch that video again for that. Now, the question is that, is it good enough to just capture the process? Is it that, you know, what formats are going to be useful for training? What do we do now, which is going to be different? Yeah, please.
Video SOP. Agents will be able to sit back and watch the SOPs in action with annotations highlighting clicks and keystroke details, also known as the guided mode.
So this is the first thing which happens. This is one thing which comes out
As
after
you
that.
can see, the video is playing and the
over.
agent is simply watching it.
So this video is running, you know, on its own. There are those blue boxes pointing to where to interact with it. So if I'm a learner, I sort of absorb it just like that in my convenient time. So that's the first stage only. So as you can see that the whole process is
Simulation.
playing. Now the second stage happens.
Agents will run the simulation in a virtual environment and be guided by the system, also known as the buddy mode. In this mode, the screen moves only when agent types or clicks. As you can see, the simulation is telling the agent that they made a mistake here.
So this time around, the agent is able to make their hands dirty and really try it out in a safe environment. It's not going to corrupt your master database at all. It's not running in a sandbox, just running in a browser. And this is created just out of
Assessment.
that demonstration.
Agents will work in virtual environment and be assessed on competency and accuracy with results, also known as the blindfolded mode.
this time, they're doing it, but they are also being evaluated. Now, they would know where they missed anything after the evaluation is over. You will just see in a minute.
As you can see, the agent could not pass this time because they got 140 points out of 192. Now they can review their attempt and find out the places where they made mistake. This screen has green bar below the screen, meaning that they interacted correctly on this one. This screen has red bar indicating an error. Microsoft Word SOP. The printable Word SOP for learners as a handbook.
So this is probably the point where most of the organizations were. They were using Microsoft Word SOPs, which comes out, by the way. But that's probably not good enough for the learning process. Today, people demand a more contemporary experience. The learners,
Video SOP.
Yeah. So thanks a lot. You guys did a great job. It didn't run in the beginning, but it did finally. So, so summary is just this. The two items, two dials up there, the capture the process and publish the smart SOP kit. These things are done by the tool itself. And you know what? If you do it well, then the third stage is a natural thing, which is the learning collaboration, which happens after that. Now, I'm going to show you the next bit, which is about the learning collaboration that you can do after you've really created the smart kits and everybody is able to use that. So, yeah, okay. So this really tells you that what are the benefits that you get so far in this exercise of capturing it. If you look at the first box over there, because you have captured the information first time right, if you were in a discussion with your customers who was handing over the process to you, there's no way that you could go wrong in capturing that process because it is captured just the way it was done. And so therefore, it reduces the opportunity of any error to seep in, and therefore the agreements are quicker. Now the second thing is, because you have a stack of video SOPs and process simulations and assessment workbench, the learner experience is all that great. Now the same person whom you're trying to train to hold your process is not really going to feel that burden, because this time they'll feel a little more confident because they can really see the things, practice it, and nobody's watching over, while your LMS or any other system that you may have will still have the scores of how they perform. So it reduces the learning curve in a sense. And then finally, it really lowers the cost of the knowledge transition. And also, if you say cost of knowledge transition goes down, the bigger benefit you get is the escalations go down too. The quality, the experience of your customers with your agents goes up, because now they find people who are a little more capable of holding the process. And so those are the things that you get as a benefit out of it. Then finally, I just wanted to also tell you that as an attachment to this whole product suite, you also get this optional piece which is capable of freeing you up from the decentralized way of keeping your knowledge assets, like SharePoint and stuff, and it works within your firewall. Now I'm going to just show you 3 screens quickly. This is the author screen. So if I'm the person who's creating the DTPs or SOPs, I use it. I upload all the DTPs. I use a box like that to point to which document I want to upload. And there's always a supervision ahead of that. There's a reviewer who can reject and approve it. Now that makes the workflow of the whole process then. Finally, it goes for the consumption of the learner, and the learners see it in a very categorized manner where they can interact with all the new knowledge which has come for themselves, and they can really interact with us. And so therefore, the whole experience is seamless. If people are sitting remotely also, it really doesn't hinder anything. And finally, if I have to say that what does it really bring about and how should we look at this automation today, then we should think about how we are gamifying the whole experience, and attrition control is probably one of the things I'm going to talk about very quickly, because you see the agents who are suddenly holding the knowledge load or the pressure of the processes, they feel suddenly more valued, because they can try in their own private space. Some people are shy, they don't open up, they don't ask questions, but they can still try and feel more confident, hey, I can do it. And you know what, when that happens, they drive more job satisfaction. Now, if that is happening in your organization, a different kind of culture is building in. And of course, with that better relationship, you will find that resignations will go down, attritions will go down. Look at this. The people that we put on the forefront right now, interacting with our customers, they probably didn't have a history of learning that much in their past 14 years. You can't change that. Now the technology is supposed to make all of us more capable. So today I can lift a box which is 100 kg because there is technology supporting me to lift it up. Same way the knowledge should be just like that. Today we feel that it can't be done, but today with control technologies like this, you can possibly hire a person with slightly better attitude and no capability and still be able to support a very powerful process with that. Now with that, I wanted to, this is my last slide here, so let's have some fun today. There's $8,000 worth of merchandise to be picked up, a game to be played at the booth, and you will meet these fantastic people, Deepa and Shabin. So please ask us questions, and if you want to set up a demonstration for your teams, you want to see it in more details, get some proof of concept done, we'll also give you today a lot of licenses free. Now, I just wanted to thank all of you because, last 2-3 years when it was very difficult for a lot of companies to pick up customers, and we were able to support a lot of our customers. Our valuation also went up. The first fundraise that was done for 𝗤𝗏𝗏, that was for $1.5 billion on a valuation of 3.75, which is probably a rare thing, but looks like the technology which can automate and make people learn faster is definitely going to have a demand. So please join hands with us, give us some ideas on what we should build into our products. We have some optional additions on our booth also today. So you can also see a role play simulation, which is one of our new launches that we are going to do, where people can actually do remote coaching and a very good interactive style of coaching really. And also digital process adoption technology we have, so that all these SOPs that you see sitting in SharePoint, you can actually lay them over the ERP that you use, so that when there is a point of use, somebody is using your ERP, creating something, maybe in issuing an invoice, they can actually take all the help on the right side of the screen, and that help will actually tell them like this is magical. It will say, okay, now press this button, fill this box, click over here, do something like this. When the person does that, the process would be actually completed, which means that you really don't need to remember everything. So with all that, thank you again. In a situation like this, if we are sitting together, if you have any questions, and you have some questions, so I guess please bring the mic closer.
First of all, congratulations. I think this is a great product. So, and a great presentation. One of the questions that intuitively comes to my mind, and I'm from an outsourcing and consulting company. Is there some data to sort of show that if the SOP creation is through this tool versus the traditional, the time to RGFT or the time for the agent to get the billing started is faster or more efficient, versus the traditional method? Because while this is phenomenal, and I'm sure at COVID times this would have become a lifesaver, but again, we do see a trend of that face-to-face interaction and learning through going on site and doing a KT and all of that. So is there something to demonstrate that?
Okay, actually, there's a good amount of data for that. There was a slide I had. I'll actually like to send it to you. But let me tell you a sense of what the data looks like. So there are parts in this knowledge transfer process where there's a lot more value when you sit face to face and do something. But in any great learning experience, if you, let's just say, talk about the IIMs or IITs even, there's a lot of personal learning space which is also given. Now that space is being utilized by these automated technologies, even in a space where, let's say, you come for a session and meet a trainer today, and it's a KT which is face to face. What if I sort of familiarize myself with all of that, and in that session, rather than asking a question, hey, what's the purchase order, I actually asked you a better question, and I said, hey, I understand what is the purchase order, but how about a PO based and non-PO based invoicing which happens after that? So the interaction quality of the face-to-face has to go up, and that's the only yardstick. We have seen that the reduction in the knowledge transfer time is about 40% to 23%. 40% is for the heavily transactional processes. Now 23% is for those processes where you really have to apply a lot of mind, thoughts. So yeah, so those are the opportunities. Great question, by the way. Any other question you have? Because we have some time left right now. So yeah, over there.
Mr. Samir, this is Sharath from Grassroots. We are predominantly from the BPO environment. So one big challenge today is, if you look at some of the training content, is all in the English language, and bulk of the industry today caters to the regional language requirements. Is there a feature where this can be customized with the background delivery being in the local languages? Can this be customized? Can this tool be used?
Yeah, so great question. That's how the industry is right now. So out and translated and pulled back into the same module, which essentially means that now the module starts talking Czech while you captured it in English. Yeah, that's a great question, I guess. Definitely. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I am Praveen from Workplace Options. You said when you demonstrated the overlaid, the guided trainings, right? You said that the data does not get updated in the production system, it's just to guide the users, right?
Right.
From a technology and hosting standpoint, where does your overlaid training, that particular module reside? Is that in cloud, or do you have something that can be installed on premise, or how does that go?
Yeah, I mean, you're from technology, so trying to figure it out. Yeah, so so it's lightweight. What I mean is, it's not on cloud. It could be on cloud if you put it there, but you could just as well put it on a desktop, and you can run it there. The way it is running as a package, and you should try it out, and you will get it. It can run on any browser also. So therefore, we are not even charging you any licensing fee on the modules that you create, because you can distribute it widely. You can even put it anywhere. As long as you've got a browser, it will work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Please give him a huge round of applause.